Hello everyone, my name is Mattai and I have scoured Magic to find the worst rares ever, and through Photoshop and through my love and enjoyment of Magic, I've improved them for you. For an example, my last video was I took the worst rares and I turned them the best colors blue. So I've taken Tybalt, notably the worst planeswalker in history, and I turned him blue into Tybalt the Blue-Blooded. That's what we're doing today, but we're doing it with worse rares, even they're just so bad, and let me show you just how bad the rares can be in Magic. Vassal's Duty 4-mana enchantment. With pay 1, the next 1 damage that will be dealt to a legendary creature you control is dealt to you instead. You don't kill the creature, you kill you. For 4 mana we have Wilderness Reclamation, we have Fires of Invention nowadays. This card is bad, we understand that, but what I have turned it into, a red and a white enchantment. With pay 1, prevent the next 1 damage dealt to you or target creature you control. Deal damage to target creature or planeswalker equal to the damage prevented this way. Now for 2 mana, I don't know if this is a bit too overpowered, but I do think it's a very good Boros kind of prison style card, and it wouldn't be too bad. Bit of a Boros Reckoner on an enchantment. Let's just see what other flippin' terrible cards we have, huh? Now, artifacts were infamous for being extremely bad and extremely expensive back in the day. Apart from, you know, Black Lotus and the Moxen. They moved past that and they made cards like Vacalite, a 6 mana artifact. It's also a poly artifact. I don't know what that means. Definitely don't want 2 of them, you know, let alone 1. Anyway, it's 2 mana. Prevent 1 damage to any target. If Vacalite is used, it returns it to its owner's hand at the end of turn. For 6 mana. For 6 mana! You could do Mycosynth Lattice for 6 mana. You could do Wormcoil. This card is just it's so bad. But eventually, maybe, ladies and gentlemen, we will have another Vacalite at 3 mana artifact. It's not even a poly artifact anymore, but for 3 mana tap, until end of turn, target creature gains. Whenever this creature is dealt damage, deal that much damage to any target. So it turns any of your creatures into a Boros Reckoner. Maybe I should have put it in Boros, but I think this card can be pretty fun. It can lead to some pretty sneaky shenanigans. Yeah, I think this card's definitely better than the 6 mana flippin' bad Vacalite we saw before. Dysphoric Disper. A 1 mana artifact. Tap, bury target permanent you own. It's not even control. You can't even use this in Ziju. You can't even use this with Puka's Mischief. It's just you own. Why would you ever want to do this? I mean, I guess there's the 4 mana enchantment, but Dysphoric Scepter, bad card. Don't know why you would play cards that you want to bury, but we're turning it into a 1 mana artifact with tap, destroy target permanent you control, and with a triggered ability at the beginning of your upkeep, you may exchange control of target permanent you control and target permanent an opponent controls with the same type with an equal or lesser mana value until end of turn. For 4 mana, it's like a Puka's Mischief, you know, you get to steal maybe the best permanent on board if you have a creature, the best permanent if you have an artifact, and you can destroy it also. But it's definitely better than the original Dysphoric Scepter. Most things are better than the original Dysphoric Scepter. The Hive is a 5 mana artifact with 5 mana tap. Put a 1/1 insect artifact creature token with flying named Wasp into play. I personally love spending 10 mana for a 1/1. You know, I'm a bit of an EDH player, a bit of a jank EDH player, and 10 mana for a 1/1, oh my god, it's beautiful. How do I improve it? So I haven't changed the card intensely, I've just made it a little better. For a 1 mana artifact that has 2 mana tap, put an insect artifact named Wasp on the battlefield. If you think about it, you could be like, oh man, this card is a little bit, but have you heard of Bitter Blossom? This card also has some combo potential. If you have a March of the Machines, an Ashnod's Altar, an Intruder Alarm, and a Blood Artist on the battlefield with your Hive, pay 2, you tap it to put a 1/1 insect, then in response to the untapped trigger from your Intruder Alarm, you sacrifice to Ashnod's Altar to get 2 mana, drain your opponent for 1, untap your Hive because it's a creature because of March of the Machines, then pay the 2 from Ashnod's Altar to sacrifice it again, and drain your opponents. I've broken the game. This card breaks the game, guys. Moving on to probably the most recent worst card in history, Silent Submersible. Remember this card from War of the Spark? As a 3 mana 2/3, artifact vehicle. When it deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, draw a card and crew for 2. Now it's a little worse than Smuggler's Copter. Unfortunately, it didn't too well because it doesn't have any evasion on it. So I fixed that. War of the Spark, you literally had bullshit cards ever. Ruin Standard, apart from Throne. But I have turned it into a 2-mana 2/3 artifact vehicle. It stayed the same. It's got Island Walk. That's all it needed. Okay, it's literally it's a submarine. It doesn't go over. It goes under. Whenever submersive silent card deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, draw a card. It's still got that factor, and it's got crew 1 instead of 2 because if Smuggler's Copter can have crew 1, then so can We have 1 card left to go, ladies and gentlemen. Can I introduce you to the Vistorian Badger, the Visorian, one of the coolest badges out there, apart from Charging Badger. That card is just infamous. Visorian Badger is a 3-mana Badger, if you didn't notice. A 2/2, and when it attacks and is not blocked, you may choose to have it deal no damage to defending player this turn. If you do, remove from the game up to 2 target creatures from that graveyard's player's card. Gain 1 life for each creature removed this way. Badger had a great time, probably when it was standard, but I have turned him into, he's a 3-mana 3/2 now. He's a Badger, and when he enters the battlefield or attacks, exile up to 1 target card from an opponent graveyard. If there was a creature card exiled this way, you gain 2 life, and if a non-creature card was exiled this way, Visorian Badger gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Now this might seem a little bit similar to a recent card printed. I just can't put my finger on it. Is it a super bad card that you either have an idea for or you want me to Photoshop? Please do tell me. I'd love to do it. I'd love to Photoshop. Thank you so much for watching. I'm terrible with end cards, so comment. We can have a yarn down below. It can be of anything. Comment like Badger. If you comment Badger, I'll reply. Oh yeah, also a friend of mine made this purple Squirtle card back in the day. She wanted me to show you it all. I don't play Pokemon myself, but you can tell me if it's good.